In the last week, we already covered the basics. So we'll just quickly recap that and we'll dive into the advanced version, right? Friends, please understand this, that when the first rule is, if you want to make a powerful PowerPoint, please make sure that you have the latest version of PowerPoint on your laptop. You can use Office 365 or PowerPoint 2019. Any of them would do, right? So friends, because if you want to speak with power, you need to have the visual support at the background, and that is possible with the updated version of PowerPoint. The audience is sitting there are the next generation people, so it's necessary that you are updated to them, right? So friends, the PPT you're watching right now, for example, this entire presentation is made Office 365, right? And here's the most important rule about making a powerful PowerPoint. If you put word for word, it's better you hand over the slides and take a seat, my friends. Remember this. When you make a slide, if you put everything you want to speak, if you put in the slide itself, then people don't need you, friends. Understand that. If you just type everything on the slide, the best thing you can do is take a printout, give it to all the audience. You can sit back because they can read it and understand it. They don't need you as a speaker. Agree? Remember this important point that people read faster than you speak. So which means if you write everything on the slide, you become useless to them. Did you understand, friends? So please make sure you don't do this. Don't write every word on the slide. So how do you do it? Very, very simple. And let me ask you this simple question. How much do you think is an extra slide cost you? Don't dump everything in one slide, friends. Please understand every extra slide is absolutely free, isn't it? Use as many slides as possible, my friends. Instead of putting 10 points in one slide, it's important to make 10 different slides if possible. Agree, friends? So please make sure you use as many slides as possible. And if you're thinking that if I make more slides, it will take more time to deliver, no, friends. Just think of this. In one slide, you put 10 points, or in 10 slides, you put 1 point. End of day, you will still take the same time to deliver the whole content, isn't it? Just because slides are more in number, it doesn't increase the time to deliver the speech. The same speech, but when you use more slides, what happens is the audience will feel visually connected to you because every new slide will add freshness to them. But if such freshness should be felt by them, you should not dump every word in the slide. What you should do, my friends, is you should deliver a big punch for every point with strong visuals. Now, that's the main target. So remember this basic rule, my friends. Whenever you make a PPT slide, the slide should not look like a document. If you write so much in the slide, it looks like a document. Basically, we don't want to show documents, we want to show PowerPoint slides, right? So two simple rules, always remember. First one, less text. Make note of it. Always less text and more imagery. That is the formula. Any slide you look at, the slide should look like an ad. Have you seen ads? Every ad, when you look at the big billboards, okay, so you see an ad, we have a big image there and a few words there. Agree? That's how your slide should look like. So for example, look at this slide you're watching right now. It has got the main image and then it goes less words there. And when you use those letters or words, they should be less. That's one. Number two, they should be big enough to be read by people. Even the last person sitting in the auditorium should be able to read it conveniently. That is the size of the font it should be. You can't write in small fonts because audience will strain their eyes to read that. And you know what happens, friends? If they cannot read it, they start talking to others and they get disconnected. So please make sure you put less text and use the text big enough to be read by the last person in the auditorium. Also make sure you use different colors so that it has the impact. Colors create impact. And always the rule is, if it's a dark background, light colored text. If it's a light background, dark colored text. For example, in this slide you're looking at, you have a black, I made it a black background. So I used white and yellow because they're clearly visible on the dark background. But if the background is white, then you will prefer maybe blue or red or pink or thick bright colors as the letters. Clear? Good. So friends, two rules. Always in a slide, use less text and use more images, and the rest you will speak. If everything is there on the slide, audience don't need you, my friend. So please make sure you don't put much text in the slides and let the slides breathe, right? So let's take an example. Look at this slide, friends. This is what I want to present to my audience. How to make a good TED talk. You know, TED talks, right? TEDx TED talks. So let's say, for example, I want to tell my audience 3 points how to make a good TED talk. Point 1, first I'll read what is written there, then I'll show you how to make it in a better way. Look at the slide. If you want to give a good TED talk, first point, you should offer new value and new insights to the audience, something they had never heard before. Because if people already know it, why do they need to listen to you, right? So first one, this is what you should be doing to give a good TED talk. Let's go to the second point, what you should do now. You should be passionate and authentic. The speakers must live and breathe their messages and be ready to show their true, even vulnerable selves. So that's the second point you should do to give a good TED talk. And the third thing you should do is you should use stories and examples. Stories are the killer app of presentations. People simply love stories. They trigger the senses and help the audience see, smell, and touch, not just hear your talk. Right? So this is what you should do, my friends, to go a good TED talk. If I talk like this, you know what happens, friends? Believe me, all my audience will get disconnected. I'll tell you why. Once they finish reading the first point, if they start explaining about the first point, the possibility is the audience will start reading second and third points. Correct? So I read the first point, I try to explain the first point, but the question is, why should I explain now? It's clearly evident there as to what it means. Most speakers, the mistake they do is they write like this, read the first point, and they try to explain the first point, which is anyway, people understand it, but if you still try to explain the first point, two things will happen. Number one, audience, they understood first point, they go and start reading second and third points. So there they got disconnected. And the worst part is once you come to second point, they already read the second point, they're no longer interested to listen to you. So which means by the time you show the slide, by the time you finish reading the first point, you got the audience disconnected. Did you understand, friends? So this is not the right way of making a PowerPoint slide. So what to do? First step, if you want to present these 3 points, first point is identify the keywords, right? For example, look at the first point. What do you think is the key word in the first point? The first one, should offer new value, is the keyword. Second one, should be passionate and authentic, is the keyword. Third one, should use stories and examples. This is the keyword, right? As a speaker, I'm only supposed to show those keywords. And the remaining text, I got to remove them because that's what I'm there to speak about. So I removed them. Now, if you look at it, I only put those 3 points there. This is much better than the previous slide. Do you agree, friends? Isn't it? Than the previous entire text there, this is much better. But again, here, there's one more problem. The problem is, if I put all the 3 like that, as I mentioned, once I talk about the first point, audience will start looking at the second and third points. So for which I will again get disconnected. So the best formula in PowerPoint is, please make sure you always put 1 point per slide. Remember this, always the rule is 1 point per slide. For example, if I want to discuss about these 3 points, 1, I should offer new value to audience. 2, should be passionate and authentic. 3, should use stories and examples. If I want to use these 3, I can make PPT like this. Look at this now. First point says, should offer new value, right? So the first point, it should be new and valuable. Okay, how to make a good TED talk? You should be new and valuable. Second one, you should have passion and authenticity. And number 3, you should use it with stories and examples. Do you find a difference, friends, between just showing them like this and showing them like this? Do you see the difference, friends? Now, this is what a powerful PowerPoint can do. You got to use your slide and visually get it supported with the right pictures and less words. Okay, well, let's look at one more way you can do this. Suppose the same one, you want to show all the 3 points in the same slide. Okay, the points you want to show in the same slide. Then the rule is, don't show all of them at once. show the first point. Friends, a good talk should be new and valuable. And then I talk about this so that I can hold the enthusiasm of the audience by not showing the remaining ones. Then I can always say, then you got to be passionate and authentic. Now, did you see this? What I did was I grayed out the first point. It's still there, but I grayed it out and I talked about the second point. The second is emphasized now, it's highlighted now. I talk about the second point. Once I finish talking about passion and authenticity, then I can say, we also have to fill it with stories and examples. When I talk about this point, I have grayed out the remaining two. They're still there, but my focus is on the third one. An audience can be shown this way if you want to show all the three points in one slide. Did you understand, friends? Did you find it useful? Isn't it? So instead of showing them like this, okay, all the 3 points in one slide like this, the best option if you want to show them is like this. Show the first one, add imagery, less text, more imagery. Remember, that's a formula. Less text, more imagery. Show it like this. Then talk about the second point and the third point. Understood, friends? Now, this is what a PowerPoint can do. It can add more value to what you're saying by using the right pictures and less text. Now, how did it gray out? Now, the question is, how did it gray out this using animation? Okay, that will go deep now. Last week, we talked about the basics, how to make a slide. Today, we'll go deep and find out how animation can be done on slides, right? But before we do that, I want to share another option that's available, and that's with icons. Okay, we don't recommend you to write the full sentence. Even if you write the full sentence, what you should do is highlight the main word with a different color as shown in this slide. We don't prefer you to write the full sentence, but in case you write it, the main words, the keywords, just make them colorful. Like for example, here the icons is a main word. For example, United Nations, they do something called Sustainable Development Goals. Generally used to show it like this. Look at this slide. Look how clumsy it looks. People can never read the entire thing. It's not visible, right? So, but if they want to show everything like this on one page, on one single slide, they want to show so many points, then the best option you can do is use icons. Look at this slide. See the difference, friends? They both have the same information, but here you can hardly read anything. Here it makes much sense to the people who watch it, because one, it's colorful, two, it's readable compared to the previous slide where it is. So they went from this to this. This is how we can also use icons in case we want to show everything in one slide. But having said that, I would strongly recommend that you make as many slides as possible, because slides are free, correct? And I want to also share with you one great PPT which I got impressed with. This PPT is made by a man called Thomas. A great slide. This is to show you how less words and the right pictures can create the right impact on the audience. For example, this is a small story about a man called Mr. Joe, who was working in a company, but because of this market conditions, the company has drastically fallen down. So Joe was fired. So Joe went into depression, but then he's got the ability to write. He's got the ability to write stories, and he's got the ability to play guitar. So he started writing stories and playing guitar, and slowly he became famous and he became successful again. So that's a little story. I can actually put the whole story in one slide, but look at the way this man has done it. I repeat, the story is simple. There's a man called Joe who was working in a company, and because of the downsizing the company, he got fired. He started writing stories and playing guitar, and he got again successful in life. That's the basic essence. But look at the way how beautifully the slides are made. Meet Joe. Remember, less text, more imagery. That's what the person has followed. Joe is a successful executive. Look at the text and look at the picture. Also look at the way it's a light background, so they use the dark colors font, right? And he's a successful executive. Joe had nearly everything. Right picture, less words. One day, nightmare on Wall Street. So what happened? His company downsized and Joe was fired. Joe was in the bin, right? But there was hope. Joe had a pencil. Joe wrote stories. Many great stories. And Joe had a guitar. Joe shared his stories. His songs played on the radio, and people loved his stories. Girls were touched, and Joe got his life back. So what's the point? If you are a speaker, people remember that people don't remember the blah 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 on the slides. People remember how you made them feel, right? So people remember stories with the right slides at the background. Very simple, clear, right pictures, less words. This is how audience expect you to do your PowerPoint, friends. So it's very easy for people to understand what you're trying to say, and the rest of it you speak from your heart. Correct? So let's go to the next level now. Let me show you how to make. Now you understand how to make a slide now. Less text, right images, right background, right colors, right text colors. You understood everything about the pictures. And as I mentioned, if you want to use quality pictures, friends, I mentioned about two websites, pixabay.com, pexels.com. Don't go to Google and take the images from there, for the reason, number one, they might have copyright issues. And number two, the image may not be of high quality. So the best places to go is pixabay.com or pexels.com. These two places, you can have plenty of high quality pictures which are completely royalty free. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll insert some picture. Let me show you how to do that. I'll just take some picture. Okay. Any picture would do. I'll just take some 3 pictures. 1, 2, and 3. Insert. Okay, I do 3 pictures. Picture 1. Friends, can you see what I'm doing here? Can you all see what I'm doing? Picture 2. Okay, good. And this is picture 3. 1 second. Let me make them a little smaller. Okay, so 3 pictures, right? So I put 3 pictures on the side. So this is step 1. We know so far, right? We know that we need to take pictures here. Inserted 3 pictures. Go to insert and pictures and took 3 pictures here. So basically, so to make animation, the first step to make animation is select the picture, go to the animation tab here, and what you'll do is you'll go to add animation. If you go to add animation, you have 4 options there: entrance, emphasis, exit, motion paths. Okay, there are 4 options to do with your animation: entrance, emphasis, exit, and motion paths. So what do they mean? Let's talk about entrance. Entrance is they come on the slide. For example, now I want to give animation to all these 3 things. So I select the first one, go to animation, and I'll put some animations. Let's say I'll put, let's say, float in. It comes like this. I'll take second one. I again add animation. Let's say for this I'll put bounce. It comes like this. It bounces and comes. For third one, I select the third one. I go to add animation, and I'll say, let's say, zoom. It comes like this, right? So that's the basic step I did. I gave animations to all 3 of them. And once you see here you have called animations. You have something called animation pane here. If you click on animation pane, a box opens here. It shows what we did so far. This is picture 6. See, it got highlighted here. Picture 6, picture 4, picture 2. Can you see they're getting highlighted here? So picture 6, picture 4, picture 2. You see the highlighting here? Good. So what happens is, whenever you do animation, friends, so let's see how it works. So you open the slide. There's nothing on the slide. Why? Because I give animation. So first I click, the first thing has come. Second I click, second thing has come, bounced. Third I click, it came zoom. Why? Because that's the animation I gave. Good. So I took 3 pictures. I gave animation to all the 3 pictures. Now, what happens is when you give animation to pictures, you have 3 options, friends. If you look at this, for example, let's take picture 6. Is this little drop down here? If you see this drop down, there are 3 options basically. Start on click, start with previous, start after previous. What it means is, by default, when you give animation, it opens as start on click, which means when you click, the picture comes. Whatever animation you give, when you click, it comes. That's by default. Okay, but let's say I want this to come on click, but the remaining 2, I don't want them when I click. I want them to come automatically. So what options do I have is, the first one, I want it to come on click, so it's there. The second one, I want it to come after the first one has come. So say start after previous. Third one also, I want it to come after the second one. So again, say start after previous. So you don't have to click them. See, you can see here, the mouse says click, but the remaining 2 are after previous, which means now I just click once, the first one comes. Automatically, second and third will come. I didn't do anything. So first will come on click. After that, second will come. After the third will come. I'll show you again. So only one click, the first will come, then second, then third. Why? Because they give the animation start after previous, start after previous. Clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, there's one more option here. See, this I came on click, this came after this came after this, correct? But now I want, once I click this, I want all 3 to come at the same time. Then what do I do? So what I'll do is, the second one, I'll say with previous, third one also with previous. So with the previous, it should come. So now what I'll do is, I click only once, all 3 will come together. Did you see that? Again, one click, all 3 will come together. Why? Because it's not after previous, it's with previous now. Good. So this is the basic animation. You put the pictures, you give animation to each of them, and you decide when what should come, whether they should come on click, whether they should come with previous or after previous. So that's your choice as a speaker as to how you want to show it to them. Now let me show you how I made them the gray color. So for example, let's put all of them on in click. Okay, let's say on click. So now one click, this will come, the others will not come because I made them click. So I talk about this. Then one more click, this comes, I talk about this. And then one more click, this comes. That we understood. But in my slide I made, once I talked about this, when I click the next slide, this has come, but the first one has become into gray color, right? How did it do that? And again, when I clicked, the third has come, but the second also turned into gray. It's a very simple logic. Observe carefully. The first one, what I'll do is I'll take the picture, I'll copy and paste it. So I'll take one more picture. Okay, it's 2 pictures actually. And this picture, the new picture, I'll go to picture format and I'll go to color. I'll make it gray. See this? And I'll put it exactly on the top of this. Did you understand?
Yes. Okay.
Similarly, for the second one, I'll copy paste. I'll put it exactly on this top of it and I'll make it into gray. Exactly on top of this. Okay. And this again, I'll copy paste, put it exactly on it, and I'll turn it into gray. So you understood? So it's actually not one picture. There are 2 pictures there now. The top one is gray, the one below is in color. Okay. But the audience don't know that. So what I'll do is, this picture is here, correct? Picture 7, gray picture. This gray picture is picture 8. This gray is picture 9. Can you see that? But what I want is, I want this to come here. Okay, after the picture 6, this should come, correct? Similarly, this should come after picture 4. So let me show you how it happens. So once I click the first picture, color picture will come. The next click, this will turn gray, and this should come with that. So with previous. So again, I click, this should come with previous. Okay, let me show you how it happens. First click, this has come. I talked about this. Then next click, see that? Then the next click, see that? This is how it happens. But the problem is, if I use the same animation, you can make out the 2 pictures, right? If I use the same animation, then we can understand the 2 pictures there. right? So what we'll do is we'll change the animation for all three of them. We'll put as just, okay, animation. We'll just use appear, okay? Just appear, nothing else. So let's see what happens now. Okay, this is picture. Okay, friends, observe carefully what I'm doing now. This is picture 6, right? See the highlighting area here. The color is picture 6. Okay, once I click, this comes. Now, next click, I want this to come. Okay, this picture 7. So I click, picture 7 will come on this, right? And for the same click, I want this color to come. So this will be with previous. Okay, so I'll talk about this color one. Then I click, this should come. So picture 8 should come on click. This should come. Along with this, I want the next one to be present. So this one should come automatically with previous. And next click, this should come. So I make it on click. So let's see how it happens. First one has come. I talk about the first one. Click, that turned gray, the next one has come. Actually, it didn't turn gray. The gray one has come over it. Now I click again, this turns gray, I talk about this. But it didn't turn actually gray. I put the one more gray picture over that, and one more click, even this turns gray. Yeah, I'll explain once again. See, basically, first I took 3 pictures. Clear so far? I took 3 pictures, right? This. That's step 1. I took 3 pictures. For each picture, I gave animation. Okay, for this, I give the animation float up. For this, I give the animation bounce. For this, I give the animation zoom. Okay, so first I took 3 pictures. I gave animation for each of them. Then what it did, I copy pasted each of them and I made a gray one out of this. Now, how do I want it? Okay, the animation says how, in which order I want it. So first I want this. So I put it in the top. It's on click. Then when I click again, what should happen? This should become gray, right? So which means this should come. So this should come here like this. So that's why I put this in the second place. I click and this comes. But when this comes, along with this, the color photo next point should come to be seen by audience. So next point should come. So what it is, I kept it here, but I don't want to click it. This should come along with this. So I put it as with previous. So with previous, this comes right now. So I talk about this second color one. Then I want to click and this should turn gray. So I put it next to that. I click, this comes, but along with this, the third point should be visible. So I put third point here, but I don't want to click it. It comes with previous. And finally, when I click, the last one should also turn gray. So I put click here and turned into gray. So if you observe it, first click, this will come. Next click, the gray will come and the next will come. One more click, the gray will come, next will come. One more click, it will turn gray. That is how the audience will look at it. So, but actually it's not turning gray. I'm putting a gray one above that. Okay, now let's go to the next animation. Go to insert, go to text box. Okay, type something. For example, public speaking is a learnable skill, right? I bolded it, I made it big because I have space there. It should be visible to everyone. Public speaking is a learnable skill. Let's say learnable skill, I'll highlight it because that's the keyword I want to mention to audience. So this is how I make a text, okay? So if I open it, it is visible like this. I want to give animation to it. So just click on it and go to animations and add animation. Let's say I want to give it flying. So it comes like this. Did you see this? So now this has come latest, so it is here now, right? These are already there. Now a new animation has come, so it has come here. Now, friends, if you observe, there's a drop down here. So this we know, start on click or start with previous, start after this part we understood. But there's one more option here called effect options. When you click it, a box appears. like this. Okay, so this box, we're talking about text box here. This text box, I'll show you again. The text box animation is here, right? I mean, the drop down here has got effect options. You click on this, you get a box like this. In this box, you have 3 tabs: effect tab, timing tab, text animation tab. First, let's go to the effect tab. It says from which direction you want it to come. It came from bottom, right? I want it to come from, let's say, top. Okay, and now here's, look at this. It says all at once. No, there are 2 more options: by word, by letter. I'll say by word. You know what happens? It comes like this. Did you observe, friends? Let me show you. See, each word has come separately. See that? The whole thing didn't come at once. Each word has come separately because I asked you to come word by word. Let me delay it. Okay, so you can double click it to get the box. To get this box, you can go for drop down, go to effect options, or you can double click this, you get the same box. Here the word has come, but the delay is 10%. If I make it 50% delay, then what happens is it comes like this. See the difference? See that? It doesn't come immediately, it comes one after the other word. Okay, now if I go here and say by letter, you know what happens? And let's say the delay is 30%, example. Now let's see what happens. They don't come word by word, they come letter by letter now. See that? Did you see the difference, friends? So they're coming letter by letter. Not the whole thing did not come, they come letter by letter. So you can decide how you want to show it to your audience. You want to show it the whole thing at once, or word by word, or letter by letter. Letter by letter comes like this. Right? Good. So now that is the option you have here. This is the first tab, effect tab. You can decide from where. So if you say it comes from the right, okay, if you change direction, then this is how it comes. Letter by letter, they come like this. See the difference? That's how it comes. Got it? You can decide the effect options from which direction they should come, and whether it should come a letter, by word, or all at once. You can also decide the delay it has to make between the letters. Now timings. Second tab is timings. In timings, we know this: on click, with previous, after previous. We have all learned this, right? Now here comes duration. How fast do you want it to come? Right now it's in very fast mode. If I make it extremely slow, example, okay, now let's see. It takes a long time for the letters to come. See? You can sleep off. Your audience can comfortably sleep and wake up because it comes in such slow mode. Can you see that? Because I kept it in extremely slow mode, the letters will come that slow. See that? So good timings, extremely slow. If you make it fast, okay, then you'll see this, they come faster. Make sense? You can decide as a speaker, how do you want your letters or words or sentences or pictures to appear before the audience, in which order, whether you want to click it, they should come after, they should come with them, and the speed and everything you can decide as a speaker. And there's one more thing you should learn here, friends. Observe carefully. The same letters, if you observe here, there are 5 options available: extremely slow, very slow, slow, medium, fast, very fast. All these options are available here, right? So what many speakers don't know is they select one of them. If they want to come very fast or fast, they just select it accordingly. But what people don't know is these 6 options are available, but we can overwrite it. We can manually decide the speed. For example, if I type 0.5 is very fast, but if you want faster than that, then I'll type here 0.2. I can type it manually. You can see that? People don't know this, friends, but you can use it in PowerPoint. 0.5 is the max they think the fastness is, but you can manually write 0.2 here. 0.2, enter. See the speed? Let me show you. Look at it. So that's the kind of speed you can create if you manually write it. Or you can make it dead slow also, right? So go to timings. The maximum slow is 20 seconds, but you can write 40 seconds here, right? You can decide the speed and click enter. 40 seconds. Look at it. So the point is, you will decide what speed you want things to come up with. Let me tell you why we use a slow one. Okay, generally, remember this formula. Whenever you use text, always try to use fast to very fast, or make it 0.2. That looks very beautiful to look at. See, try to use 0.2 because that gives an extra edge, and the other speakers don't know how you can make it so fast, because all they see is very fast in 0.5 seconds. When they want to do the PowerPoint, they can only see 0.5 here, but 0.2 is what they don't know. So they really wonder how you are able to make it that fast in the PowerPoint. So that's for letters. Then why do you have very slow, or beyond that, where to use it? Let me show you. For example, the PowerPoint I made for advanced minds. See, the picture is in black and white, right? But look at her, slowly she's turning into color. Can you see that, friends? We started with the black and white picture, and slowly she's getting into color. How do we do this? This is the PPT I made for advanced minds. Actually, there's a music behind it. I didn't add it now. So whenever I go on the stage, before I go on the stage, people who sit, the audience who sit, just sit back and watch a few details about advanced minds. That's why I made this presentation. Just look at this slide. So everything is animated there. I have 3 programs I dealt with students on how to excel in education and life. For parents, I have a program called Magical Parenting. And for teachers, I do a program called Passionate Teaching. So when it comes to students, how to excel in education, I train them on classroom concentration, how to grasp like a magnet. And they learn a concept called superpower memory, the art of easy remembrance. And they learn strategies of top rankers, and how to be creative and make complex subjects interesting, and how to attack exams with confidence. I also train students on life skills, on leadership lessons, time management, health consciousness, goal setting, and motivation, so that they can ignite themselves. And then I have this special program called Time Management is Life Management. I also train people on goal setting and how to get them. The 3 keys to success is one more session I have. And then how to break rules and break your mental blocks. And there's an activity-based training called Break Your Own Records. And I believe that the world now needs leaders. So I have designed a program to unleash the leader within you, and I call them the leadership lessons. Right? And tuning the mind for success to awaken the inside world is one more topic I deal. Stress is not what happens to us, friends. So dear stress, let's break up. Right? And one of the most powerful ingredients to achieve success is positive attitude. I also have a program called Ignite Yourself, filled with success stories and inspiring videos. I also do career guidance for students of class 8 and above. And this is a magical parenting program talking about, where the parents will learn all these concepts, how to make their children academically successful, reducing TV video games, hyperactiveness, work-life balance, teenage parenting, and many more. And I have this special program called Magical Teacher Program. They learn powerful teaching strategies, understanding the student psychology, classroom management, reloading passion, innovative ways of attention grabbing, anger and stress management, keys to success, and self-motivation. And then we have this close to heart concept called Speak with Power. I don't have to talk about this because this is what you're learning right now, the art and science of public speaking, the speaking secrets of world's best speakers. So this is about me, a few details about what I've been doing the last 20 years now. We train more than 10 lakh people across the country. And this is at Geetham, and this is at Kochi, and this is at Oak Ridge International School. My program at Bangalore, Coimbatore, Navy School, and this is some of the media highlights about what we did. And then this is at Khammam. This is at Hyderabad Sanghamitra School, Vizag. This is for the Magical Teachers Program. This is for the 5-day engineering faculty program. This is at Kerala for the police officials at Vijayawada. And this for the CMR, MVR shopping malls. So briefly, this is what we've been doing the last many years now. So this is about me and my details. So friends, if you observe this, the entire thing you saw is just PowerPoint. Everything is animated from start to the end, right? So from the starting, it's all what I did was I put animation to everything, and everything I didn't even click anything because everything is after previous, after previous, after previous. So that's how we made it. Okay, there are two things we need to understand. Anything that's moving within the slide is called animation. You understood animation, right? So for example, this has come first, then this has come, then this has come, and then this gray has come, this gray has come, this gray has come, this words have come from the right, they came with the speed. All that is within the slide, any movement is called animation, right? Now if you want this, now if you look at animation, we understand do the entrance. Now let's understand the emphasis part, right? What is emphasis? Once the entrance has happened, if you want to do something after the entrance, for example, let me show you. Let's say grow and shrink. Okay, so what happens? So the new animation has come here. You can see that new animation has come here, and this I want it to happen after the previous. No more clicking. After previous, I want that to happen. So let's see how it happens. I can double click it, and I can go to timings, and I can say repeat it 5 times. I can also repeat that emphasis 5 times. Okay, let me show you how it happens. So I click on it. These 3 have come. Now this has come. After it has come, automatically, can you see that? It's growing. Can you see that? That's called emphasis. Once something comes there, if you want to do something further with them, this is called emphasis, friends. Let me show you one more emphasis, for example. Add, and let's say I want to teeter. Okay, teeter is an option. Click on teeter. Okay, so this has come here. This I want it to happen after previous. Okay, and this I want it, timings will be, I want it to repeat, let's say 10 times. Now let's see what happens. This has come, entrance is done. First emphasis is grow and shrink. Grow and shrink 5 times. Okay, grow and shrink, and grow and shrink, and grow and shrink 5 times. Then teeter. Teeter is like, see dancing there. This is slightly dancing there. The slight movement is called teeter. And it happens 10 times because I gave repetition 10 times. Got it, friends? Like that, when you put anything, the teeter can also happen for text or can happen for picture, anything. Okay, so that's called emphasis. Okay, now there's one more thing here. If you observe this, friends, when you go to timings, I gave it as repeat 10 times. There's one more option called delay. You can see delay here, which means, let's say if I give delay of 4 seconds, example, 4 seconds delay for this, for what? For teeter, right? No, this is teeter one. The last one is teeter, emphasis teeter, but here I gave a delay of 4 seconds. So what happens is, once this comes, entrance is done, grow and shrink is done. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Then 4 seconds it will wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it starts teetering. Can you see that? So you can decide when you want to start that. So friends, as a speaker, you can decide as to when what should happen on your slide. So we understood about animation. Entrance is done, emphasis is done. Then comes exit. What is exit? So now I want that sentence to go off. So what I'll do is, let's say I say fly out. It's gone, right? So again, I can double click it. Do you want every letter to go or the whole thing to go, word by word to go? You decide that. So let's go letter, okay? And you should go to, let's say, go to left. And timings will be, again, I want to go it very fast, make it 0.2. You decide that. Done. Okay. Now, and should it go on click or should it go after previous? Okay, let's say it goes after previous. Good. Now let's see what happens. So these 3 will come. It has come. Then emphasis is happening. Grow and shrink. Grow and shrink is happening 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Then it will wait for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it starts tittering. Can you see the tittering happening there? They're just moving, right? They move for 10 times, then automatically they go out. Why? Because I gave exit. Now this entrance, emphasis, exit can happen not just for letters or words. It can happen for text, for pictures also. Okay, any item, whether you place a picture or a word, or you go to insert, you put some shape, some box, you keep anything on the slide. For anything that you keep on the slide, you have these options. You go to animation, you'll find you entrance, emphasis, exit, everything for everything. So any item you keep on the slide, you can do any animation you want to do. Right? Now here's an important question. Let's say the box is here, right? I want any one of you to answer this. I want this box from here move like this here. How do I do it? You observe, friends, in add animation, entrance is done. You understood emphasis, you understood exit. But there's a fourth one here, and that's called motion paths. Okay? Can you see that? The fourth one is motion paths. So for you have more motion paths here. Some are available here. We have more here. Click on more motion paths. You get a lot of options here. So this box, I want it to go to right first, right? So go to right. Okay. So can you see this? It has come from here to here. Did you see this, friends? So click on it. Everything else is done. See, it's moving from here to here. So within the slide, if it has to move from one place to other place, we can do it with the help of a technique called motion path. So in animations, we have entrance for things to appear on the slide, emphasis to do some dancing on the slide, and to exit wherever if you want to exit them, plus motion paths to move within the slide. Suppose if the same box, if I give a different ones, for example, if I give zigzag, okay, example, see how it's moving? Do you see that? If I say wave, it moves like this. If I say peanut, it moves like this. If I say inverted square, it goes like that. So you decide how it want to move. Neutron is more complex. It moves like that. And there's something called spiral left. So it goes like that. So basically you can decide how you want it to go. So this is called the motion path, right? So all these we learned so far, all the different animations you can do within the slide. So simply put, the three things you do, friends. Insert, you can insert either a picture, or you can insert either a text, some text, okay, or you can insert some shape. It's a circle. So these are things which you generally use in a presentation: a picture, a text, or a shape. For any of them, you select it and you can go to animations, and you have all the four available: entrance, emphasis, exit, motion paths. Entrance, emphasis, exit, motion paths. All the four are available. For any of them you can do, and you can decide which order they should come and how they should come. They should come on click, after previous, with previous, speed, everything can be decided, the movement can decide it with the animation. So all that happens within a slide is called animation. But listen carefully, how you go from slide to slide is called transition. That's the difference. Within a slide, all the movements are called animation. How you go from slide to slide is called transition. For example, look at this. For example, let's take this slide. Okay, can you see this, friends? This slide is this option here called transition. Okay, this slide I want it to come with a curtain opening. So different options available. That's why I recommend you to go for Office 365 or PowerPoint 2019. When you go for these updated versions of PowerPoint, you have a lot of transitions available, friends. A lot of transition options will be available if you're using the latest PowerPoint. So I selected this slide. For this slide, the transition is I want it to open like a curtain. Okay, and for this, I want it maybe to fracture. For this, the transition I want to use is page curl. For this, I want, let's say, to shred. And for this, for each side, I'm selecting a different one, okay, origami. For this, I want to use airplane example. For this, I want to use, let's say, anyone, vertex. Okay, so let's see how it happens. So now I select this, I go to slide showed. See, this Slide comes like a curtain movement. Next one, fracture. This is called a fracture transition. Next one, page curl. Next one, this is called shred. Next one, this is called origami. Next one, this is called airplane. Next one, this is called vortex. You saw my presentation where there's one lady coming in black and white and she turned colorful. How did I do that? And remember, friends, whenever you take an image, please make sure you always hold the corner and drag it like this so that the image will not spoil its quality. Okay, so I took an image like this. I want to show this image. What it is, as you rightly said, sir, I copy pasted it. One more image, second image. Okay, you can see that the second image. So the first image is colorful. The second image here, I go to picture format and I make it black and white, gray color. I put exactly on top of it, right? So now what I want to do is I want this gray one to disappear so that the next one will be visible. So what I'll do is I'll go to animation, go to add animation. I want to say exit, okay? This gray one should get exited. So how? Exit, I want it to get fade off, fade. So if you see this, one click, it turned red. See that? It's gray, one click, it became this. But I want it to be done in a slower pace. So what I'll do is I go to animation pane. This is the one I made. What I'll do is I'll say timings will be, I'll give it, let's say, okay, 25 seconds in a slow manner. Okay, click OK. Now let's see what happened. It opens, one click. Observe carefully, it slowly gets its color because it's slowly getting fade off and the other one is slowly getting visible. So in 25 seconds, it slowly gets color and becomes colorful. See that? So that's how it gets beauty.